All right, so right now I'm going to show you how to identify slope of a line. Here are some notes that might help you, and I'm going to refer to these. I'm going to use these during the lesson, but here they are. Okay. Before we get to that, though, I want to show you one of the things that we have to do in order to find the slope of a line is be able to find coordinates on a line, or in this case, just find some coordinates real quick. So I just want to review of finding coordinates. Okay, so for instance, this coordinate z right here. Okay, it is direct. It is on two lines here. It is on. It relates to the y-axis at 3, and it relates to the x-axis at 5. So as you can see here, it's kind of on these two lines right here where they cross, okay? Now it's not like over here, like right here, I'm just all in white here. Okay, see this line right here? See, if it was right here, it would only be on one line. Right here though, these lines are crossing, so this would be an exact coordinate. This is the kind of thing we're gonna have to find today, all right, in order to do our problem. So this one right here is directly above the 5, and directly across from the 3. So that makes it an exact coordinate that we could use. Okay, let's see, one right here. Oh, that's funny, they used all the same numbers, but different things. So this one is directly across from the 5 and directly above the 3. Okay, so that's just identifying coordinates. Now, I went ahead and got this one wrong because they do a really good job of showing you what I'm about to show you. So slope, again, is the change in the y over the change in the x, okay? So the first thing I want to do is determine if the line is going to be positive or negative, okay? Now we read these lines from left to right. So as you can see here, I'm going to put this down here, not great, but all right. So our line from the left to the right, as I move from the left to the right, you notice that this line is going up, okay? If we were to follow this line from the left to the right, it is going down, so this would be considered a negative. This would be considered a positive. Now, if I think about that ahead of time, I don't have to worry about one other thing. So, for instance, this line, from left to right, so the furthest point to the left, where's my mouse? There it is. All right, my mouse. The furthest point that I can find to the left is right here. And if I were to follow this line, you notice that I'm going up. So this is a positive. Now, I said one of the things we've got to do is find coordinates. All right, we've got to find exact coordinates. So what we're going to do is we're going to find two coordinates. Now, the best thing to do is just kind of start at the furthest point to the left and see if you can find one. Now, this one is on. This is a coordinate that is, it's right above 0, and it's on 1. So this is a good coordinate. As I follow, right now I'm not on. I'm looking for those two lines that kind of cross. If I stop right here, I'm right across from 2, but I'm in between some numbers there. I want to keep going, okay? And as you can see, they've got one right here. So it is directly across from 3 and is directly across, or sorry, directly above 1. All right, so I'll show you how to do that later using the actual numbers, but for now, everything is either gonna count by 1s or by 10s, so technically you can just count by 1s. All right, so we're gonna go here. The directions say, okay, after we find our two coordinates, we're gonna start with the left coordinate. We got a dot here and a dot here. This one is furthest to the left. So what I'm gonna do, now, when you can't write on your screen, here's a trick that I've used all the time. Okay, so I leave the mouse on my furthest dot to the left, and then I take some kind of object that's not going to mark up my screen. So I actually have a golf tee here, okay? And I'm gonna put it on this number right here. And my goal is to get here. And I'm gonna go either up or down first, because that is our Y, we wanna change our Y. So in this case, I need to go up to get there. So I go up 1, 2, okay? And then to go to it now, I need to go to the right, 1. So I would get 2 and 1. Now what I do with those numbers is this, okay? So, again, I'll refer back to them. So we're gonna start with the coordinate that is furthest to the left. We're gonna count up or down, so I went up until I was across from the other coordinate. So, as you can see, if I were to take this and go right to here, I'm directly across from each other, okay? So that was up 2, I'm directly across, okay? And come back to this. All right, so we're directly across the other one. So this will be our top number, okay, the numerator. So we're writing a fraction, okay? If y'all remember, slope is always a fraction, even if it's not written as a fraction. So I've kind of got this to help me. It's like, okay, remember, it's my number that goes up or down. So I went up 2, and I went to the right 1. Okay. Now the fourth step, which we already did, was to count to the right until you touch the other coordinate. This will be the bottom number or the denominator, okay? This is always gonna be positive for our purposes. It will happen occasionally that it's not, but not here in pre-algebra. And the last step is to simplify if needed. So something like 2 over 1. 2 divided by 1 is just 2. All right, 1 over 2 cannot be simplified. There's no number that goes into both of them. 1/2 is 1/2. Negative 2 over 3 becomes negative 1 over 3 because you can divide both of those by 2. Okay, negative 5 over 1 is the same as negative 5. All right. So when we put our final answer in, it was just an answer of 2. Okay. So let's work through one of these, okay? Let's work through a couple of these real quick. All right, so like I said earlier, now this is, you want to take into account what these are counting by if you're going to use the counting trick. I'm just going to tell you for today, our purposes, everything is going to basically is going to count by the same amount of numbers. So if I go up 10 and over 10, okay, that means at the end of this, I'd be able to simplify by 10. So for now, let's just say you can just count by ones. All right. So I need to find 2 coordinates. So I'm going to start at the furthest point left and look, okay, I'm already on a coordinate. I'm in an exact coordinate. I'm directly above 0, and I am, so I'm directly above 0, and I am across from 40. So I'm going to go either up and down. Well, here's the other thing. I'm going to leave that there for now. Actually, I'm going to follow it. Sorry, I forgot my trick. This is my trick, okay? So I'm going to follow it. Okay, still looking for another spot. See, that's only touching one line. That's only touching one line. That's only touching one line. Oh, there we go. Touching 2 lines. I'm touching the line that's going up and down, touching the line that goes side to side. So I am at an exact coordinate right across from 70 and right above 40. Okay. So generally I leave my mouse there, and what I use is like that pencil or pen or golf tee. Okay, that was a little difficult. I'm going to just use my finger here. Well, all right, because that shows me where I'm going. Okay, so let me see if I can do this with a pen and still let y'all be able to see it. This is tricky. I don't think I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so I'm going from there to there. I'm going to get this question wrong real quick because they're going to draw the dots for me. And that'll allow me to use the mouse to be my counter. Okay. So this is where I was trying to get. Again, if I was doing this and I can't mark on my computer screen, I would just leave the mouse there and then take like a pencil or pen and count. Okay. So, but since I can't do that, so I'm trying to go from here to here. So that means I need to go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Now again, technically I'm counting by tens, and I'll show you that. So I went up, instead of going up 10, instead of going up 3, I actually went up 30. And instead of going over, because these are counting by tens as well, instead of going over 4, I actually went over 40. So how much I go up or down, that's my top number. Okay, so in this case I went up 30, and I went over 40. But again, I see that I can simplify that. 30 over 40, 10 goes into both of them, 3 over 4. All right, and as you can see, that is the correct answer. All right, I'm gonna go find a negative one real quick, so bear with me. Dang it, I should not have pressed that. Struggling here. Wow. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. I'm struggling tonight. Really struggling. I just did something stupid. Give me 1 second. All right, technical difficulties. I'm back. All right. So, looking for one that's a negative. Hopefully this first one will be. Nope, I'm just gonna go ahead and answer it real quick. I'll show you how good you can get at this stuff, all right? Looking for 2 coordinates. All right, so technically here's the first coordinate I see. It's touching 2 lines, I'm following it. Here's another one. So I'm gonna go from here, as you can see they're counting by ones. So up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, 4 over 1 is 4. All right, found a negative one. All right, so if you want to, before you even begin, put in a negative. All right. So we're gonna start the furthest left. This is an exact coordinate, okay? Now let's say I didn't see this one. All right, I'm just gonna show you because I've used that spot a lot. Right here, here's another exact coordinate. All right, and I need to go to the next one, okay? I'm following. Here's another one. All right, so I'm trying to go. So again, I'm gonna get this wrong so that I can use the dots that they're giving me. Okay, and they chose 2 other ones, but it still doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm trying to go from here to here using a series of up and down and right movements. Okay, we always start with the left one. In this case, I need to go down. I'm gonna go down 1. Anytime we go down, that is going to mean we're a negative. Now, we already put in the negative because we knew this was a negative slope. All right, so we went down 1 and over to the right, 1, 2. So our answer is -1 over 2. All right. So I'm going to end just by showing a picture of those rules again. All right. All right, please follow these as you're going through it. You know, watch the video and then kind of leave it paused on this screen. I'm also going to upload this, but kind of follow it. Again, it's one of these things. These are a lot of rules, a lot of things here. I don't expect you to memorize it all at once. Kind of go through it and go, okay, let's see. As you're doing the problem, figure out if it's a positive or negative. Okay, find your 2 coordinates and start with the coordinate that is furthest to the left. Count up and down until you're across from the other coordinate. This will be your top number or your numerator. Okay, I've got underlined there. This number will be a negative if you went down. So if we go down, that's a negative. If we go up, it's going to stay positive. And then count to the right until you touch the other coordinate. This will be the bottom number or the denominator, and that will always be positive in this class. Again, and as you move into algebra and some other things, there are some ways to make it negative, but I'll let your teacher tell you that. All right, good luck.